Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the Senate, and of the House of Representatives. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation and, at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after the Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to the recent American message. And while this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue the existing diplomatic negotiations, it contained no threat or hint of war of an armed attack. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. During the intervening time, the Japanese government had deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands had caused severe damage to the American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. In addition, American ships have been reported torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu. Yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack against Malaya. Last night, the Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, the Japanese forces attacked Guam. Last night, the Japanese forces attacked the Philippine Islands. Last night, the Japanese attacked Wake Island. And this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway Island. Japan has, therefore, undertaken a surprise offensive extending through the Pacific area. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications to the very life and safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense, but always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteousness might well win through to absolute victory. I believe that I interpret the will of Congress and of the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the utmost, but will make it very certain that this form of treachery shall never again endanger us. Hostilities exist. There is no blinking at the fact that our people, our territory, and our interests are in grave danger. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God. I ask that the Congress declare that since this unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire. And that is the FDR speech to Congress on December 8th, 1941. The bombing of Pearl Harbor is one of the most infamous acts of the 20th century. There is a wide range of history. There is plenty of topics and YouTube videos out there about why Japan attacked us. This is just really a tribute video, in my opinion. This is what I'm going for, of how we need to remember that we were dragged into this war by the Japanese because of several things, including, embargoes and things like that. But that we went into it knowing that we were going to war with Japan and that it was all or nothing. We were going to take them on head on. And I really hope that you'll just take a few moments today and actually think about it. And just say a few words to yourself or verbally out loud for those that lost their life during the Pearl Harbor attack. I wish I could be in Pearl Harbor, even though, obviously I'm too young to have been there during the time. I would love to just go there and pay my respects one December 7th. Who knows? Maybe I'll get that opportunity next year. Maybe I won't. But with that said, thank you for watching. And I really hope that you'll take time to go and dig up histories, documentaries on Pearl Harbor. I don't want to sit here and vilify Japan entirely. We provoked them to an extent. But at the same time, I also just want to pay my respects. So, thank you.